Welcome to this video where we are going to discuss the connection of Google Analytics to your WordPress website using Google Tag Manager, the recommended method by experts and by Google as well. So let's see how we can do this. Welcome back users, and let's quickly go back to the screen where we are working with this particular account, astepping.com, and we have seen that how we can use different kinds of plugins that can be used to set up the connection between Google Analytics and your website. But now we are going to change the entire approach. Okay. In the last step, what we did was we connected this Google Analytics to the website using a plugin called Sitekit by Google. This is a recommended plugin by Google, and it is being used more and more by different website builders who are working on WordPress, right? So what we are going to do now, we are going to remove this. Okay, we are going to remove this connection. We'll click on edit over here because now we are going to use the tag manager. Disconnect analytics from Sitekit. Let's do that. Disconnect, and now it's gone. Okay, so now the connection has been broken once again. Now if I go to the website once again, I refresh this page, you will see that the analytics account is not capturing the data. All right, so why? Because the connection is gone. Now the connection will be made from tag manager. Okay, that's the idea. So to make the connection from tag manager, you must have a tag manager account over here. You have to create it, you have to keep it ready. And inside the tag manager account, just like we had seen in Google Analytics, tag manager itself has got a script over here. Okay, that has to be copied and pasted across all the pages on your website. Okay, this is the script. So what you can do is, and remember here there are two scripts actually, one that goes inside the head and the other that goes inside the body. So if I had to do it manually, I would have copied from here, and the process is pretty customary what we had seen before, only that the script is changing. This time the script is meant for tag manager and not Google Analytics. Okay, that's the only change. So I could again go inside the theme file header, and I could go inside the theme header. Okay, create some space over here, copy my GTM script, and also inside the body right over here, I can copy the other part of the script. You see, this goes inside the body, the second part. So I could go here and paste it here, and this will, and if I update the file, this header file gets, the code inside the header file gets copied across all the public pages of WordPress. And since the entire code gets captured, whatever I insert inside that, including the tag manager code, also gets copied across all the pages, right? But this is one of the methods. We are not going to do that. We are not going to touch the code over here. We are going to do it using Sitekit. Okay, there are other plugins as well, like GTM for WP. You can use that plugin as well for doing the same, but we'll kind of leave other plugins for now, and we'll use Sitekit first of all to make the connection between Google Tag Manager and the website. Okay, so here again we'll go inside settings, add connect more services. There's the tag manager. Let's say set up tag manager. Stepping. And how is it able to figure out that I have got all these accounts with these names inside my GTM? Because I have given it the access of my GTM account under the same email ID that I'm using over here, right? And the container, I have got one container, I will use it. Okay, complete setup. And now I have got everything ready. If I go inside settings, I'll see that the tag manager is connected over here. All right. Now, what does it mean for the tag manager to be connected? It means that if I do some operations inside tag manager, I'll be able to affect the website. We'll shortly see what I mean by that. Don't worry about it. Okay. First check that we need to make over here is that, is the tag manager really connected? So let's do something. We'll open an incognito window once again and astepping.com. Right click over here. First of all, we'll purge all. Okay, now in this particular page, right click, once refresh it, right click and inspect. Okay, and here let's copy this code from here and let's try to search it over here on the page. You see, There it is, right? That's the script that we are looking for. And here it's copied on this page. If I go to about and I search for it, it's copied on this page as well, and some other places where the script has been inserted. You can see that, right? So it is working. The insertion has been done, right? We are sure about that. But this is also not still enough. What we need to do is we need to test it inside our tag manager as well. So the way you test it is, you see that option called preview inside your main tag manager screen, preview. Let's click on that. Okay, and this preview section opens. This is also known as tag assistant in popular terms. So here inside tag assistant, I have to give the URL of my website inside this box. Okay, so what is my website? My website is https www.astepping.com. Right, then I'll click on connect. And you'll see that the message comes as tag assistant has been connected, right? So whenever you click on that connect, this particular window with the website opens, and the tag manager over here tries to make a connection on this. Okay, once the connection has been made, you'll see this message coming up, tag assistant is connected. All right, and you'll also see something interesting over here. If I click somewhere on the screen, right, let me click here, you see there's a click event that's showing up over here. These are tag manager events. If I, let's say, click on services, another click shows up, right? And it loads the page once again. So you see this was the first page, this is the second page. All right, now if I click on about, it loads a new page, right, with various options. If I click over here, so whatever action I do on this page, because this is a demo page that has opened along with the tag assistant, I'm able to see those imprints inside the tag assistant, where we are going to do a lot of testing from here on. But this message, once you get that tag assistant is connected, your job is done at this stage. Okay, we'll close this. So far what has happened is we have connected our tag manager to the website. So if you have to draw it in terms of diagrams, this is how it would look like. Here is the screen where on this side, the left side, you have got the website and the backend code inside website. And we have inserted the Google Tag Manager code, right? We have seen that evidence also. And we have seen how it gets connected. The message comes as connected. So this connection has been made between the tag manager and the website. You see a green option over here. But we are still into our previous problem. We want to connect the Google Analytics account to the website, right? So this has to be done via the tag manager. That's the next step we are looking at. This connection has been done. Now we want to connect the analytics account via the Google Tag Manager. So this is a question mark we have to solve. Okay, so this is the problem we'll tackle next. Let's go to our account over here. Now inside the Tag Manager account, you will see there are multiple options, tags, triggers, variables, and so on. Right? Now, first of all, we have to think about the mechanism of what was happening before when the Google Analytics account was connected to the website. So every time a user visited the page loaded on the screen, right? And on the load of that page, the snippet of Google Analytics account was also loaded. That was inside the head. Okay. So if I take you to that window, view page source, or rather, let's say, yeah, here. So whenever a page loads, this entire HTML code loads. Okay, this is how the HTML code looks like behind the scenes, like this. This is the developer part of it, how they see it. So this page loads line by line, first line, second line, third line, fourth line, and so on. So somewhere in this loading of various lines, there's also that Google Analytics snippet or Google Tag Manager snippet that also loads along with it. So this entire operation happens only when a user visits a page and the page gets loaded on the browser. All right, that's the point. The point when the page loads on the browser, at that point, the particular snippet gets triggered. So far, so good, right? The other thing that happens is the snippet gets triggered. Along with the snippet, there is a measurement ID in that snippet. That is the important clue that which account this data has to go to, which Google Analytics account this data has to go to. Now that's what we have to do inside the Tag Manager account. We have to somehow tell the system that if a page loads, fire this particular measurement ID to Google Analytics account with that particular measurement ID. Now, first of all, we will go to the tags and we'll click on new over here. Okay, and just remember the concept that I have explained just before this, okay, about loading of a page and so on. Now in the tag configuration, we'll click on this pencil icon over here. Let's click on that. Just keep on doing it. You will slowly realize why we are doing this. Okay, now in the Google Analytics link that you see over here, because we are working with Google Analytics, obviously we'll have to select a tag that is of the type Google Analytics. All right, now let's open this, and inside this you have got this Google tag. This is what we are going to use over here. Okay, so let's select Google tag. Now in this Google tag, we are going to define what has to be done. What has to be done? We have to copy that Google Analytics snippet across all the pages of the website, right? But the action is about copying that Google Analytics snippet inside the code. We have to insert it inside the code in any of those pages, right? So here, because you will see, if you take a look at the code, let's go back and pay a very close attention, because I'm talking about a lot of concepts over here. It may start getting confusing at some point, so I want you to pay attention. Okay, now if you take a close look at the code over here, you will see that the rest of the code is pretty standard. So if you are to open another data stream over here, you'll find the script looks exactly like this. Okay, exactly like this. Apart from this change, here is one change, here is another change. So these IDs will keep on changing every time you create a new data stream or somebody else creates a new data stream. So rest of it is like a template. Therefore, your Google Tag Manager says that I understand the template, just give me the tag ID. Okay, so you have to just provide the tag ID over here. Now what you can do is you can just copy it from here and paste it over here. Okay, just that. And once you're done with this, your tag is ready. So Google Tag Manager can now take this tag ID, create the script and paste it across all the pages, right? But when will that pasting happen? When the page loads. So in the trigger, you have to define when will that pasting, copy pasting happen, right? In the trigger. So we can define that when the page loads, right? So we'll click on this pencil once again, and you'll see that there is an option called all pages. Let's select that. When you select all pages, what happens is that every time the page loads, this particular trigger gets fired. Okay, and the tag along with the trigger gets executed. So because the tag is a Google tag that is supposed to copy the entire Google Analytics snippet across the files, this trigger will fire on all pages. Every time a page loads, the trigger gets fired, and every time the page loads, when the trigger gets fired, the tag along with it also gets fired. Okay, because you see these are placed by the side of each other. So once the tag gets fired, it starts pasting, inserting that snippet along with this particular tag ID across all the pages. Okay, and that's about it. Now we can name this tag something. We can name it the same measurement ID, so that we can see and we know that this is the one that's pasting the measurement ID across all the pages. Once this is done, you can save it. So now what you have done is, if you go to overview, you will be able to see that you have got one particular tag created, which is using a trigger that is predefined inside your Google Tag Manager account. That's all pages. You can create more triggers, more different kinds of triggers. But what this mechanism is doing is, it has got inside the tag that snippet ready with your Google measurement ID, Google Analytics measurement ID. And it is linked to a trigger. The trigger fires every time a page loads and across all the pages of your website, right? It keeps on firing. The first page loads, fires. Second page loads, it fires. And based on that link, what the tag does is inserts the entire script across the pages. Okay, so if you want to see if this is working or not, and we should, every time we create a tag and trigger inside the tag manager, we have to see whether it works or not. So to do that, again, remember that preview mode with that opens the tag assistant. Let's open that. You see tagassistant.google.com. This time my URL is already inserted because I was doing the testing. Keep this checked on, okay, and then click on connect. All right. And you see that the connection has been made. This we had already tested, but there is some additional information this time. This time it says that the tag got fired. When did it get fired? When the container loaded. You see, when I selected the container, the tag fired is showing up. It is not showing up on DOM ready, Windows loader, and so on. It is showing up in the top level page that once this particular tag has been fired, and it fired when the container loaded event of tag manager shot up. Okay, so inside that you can see that the tag is fired, and if I open this tag, you will see that the tag ID is also showing up over here, the exact tag ID, right? So our tag is getting fired. This part we are sure. What's happening inside the analytics account? Let's see. Go to the reports, real time. Okay, and you see new page views have started coming right here and here. You'll also see a new user is showing up over here, right? So this is an indicator that your page loads are firing. Okay, so once this is confirmed, once this is done, you can close the tag. You can close the tag assistant and you can just submit whatever changes you have made. To submit it, click over here. Basically, the idea is that the changes are right now on your system, on your desktop where you're testing it. But if you want to make it public, you have to submit it. Give a version name over here. You can say Google Analytics Connected, right? Click on publish. And your connection has been made. This is the last step of the connection to see if the setup that we did with plugins, it's exactly getting replicated with the tag manager or not. We can open a new incognito window, astepping.com, load it, and you can also go to some other pages here and there just to see whether the thing is working or not, right? We'll wait for some time for those pages to load up that we just tried. And you will see that there are 5 page views showing up over here. So this is working exactly like we wanted to work. Now, if I go back to services, click on about me and so on, all this will start getting captured slowly and steadily. All right. So this is how you make the connection with Tag Manager. What is the benefit of making a connection with Tag Manager? Because using Tag Manager, you can customize your Google Analytics to collect a lot more custom data, lot more data that will not be available out of the box. So that becomes really important at times. Okay. Therefore, it is always recommended to, connect your Google Analytics account using Tag Manager. It also gives you flexibility. Every time you have to touch the code, you have to make some changes inside your WordPress admin account. Probably that account is held by somebody from the development team or some other admin teams. And making frequent changes inside the account is not always recommended. But Tag Manager is something that is with you. You are the ones who can make changes, you can make edits, right? And that is very, very easily done using this interface that is owned by you, right? So to that extent, always go with Tag Manager. If whether it's the WordPress website, whether it's any other kind of website, this is the connection type that will always work. That concludes this session on how to connect your WordPress website to your Google Analytics account using various methods that we have already seen. Make a choice based on what you want to go ahead with. And if you like the way we have worked on this, if you want to be updated on these kinds of topics and videos, do like and share. And also, please subscribe to the account. Thank you for watching.